Well, hello there. I thought I'd do one of these in-house videos. I'm not feeling 100%. Just a wee cold virus or something like that, you know. Could be old age, right enough. I think old age isn't a great deal of fun because it's really just a gradual breakdown of your body. I mean, for example, I no longer have a six-pack in my stomach muscles. I mean, there is some doubt. There is some doubt as to whether I ever had a six-pack. But, you know, when you're young, you can strain your stomach muscles and you get a vague hint of maybe 6 muscular outlines there. But now I don't. When I sit up, I just have one kind of long thing. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? Apparently that's kind of what happens, you know, you lose your muscle definition. I could never go to the gym like I used to. I'd be an embarrassment. The old guy with the varicose veins and the one-pack. But I think sometimes when you're in the house, it's always comforting to have the radio. And it's BBC radio. It's BBC Radio Scotland that I listen to. And I don't know, again, it must be my age, but sometimes when you listen to the presenters, they sound awful young. And they talk in a strange kind of way. One of the lassies who does the BBC, does the weather, she ends every weather forecast with the phrase, "That's a forecast." And you think, why do you say it like that? That's a forecast. It's kind of a weird way of saying it, you know. And also the general, I don't know if you would call it a strapline, but the kind of general sort of announcement for BBC Radio Scotland, in there is the phrase FM, and it sounds as if a wee Glasgow Neds have wandered into the studio, bypassed security, found themselves in a room with a microphone and gone, FM. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in all my life. But they're full of interesting stories, you know. There was one this morning about, I don't know, some sort of research where they had bats on a treadmill. Bats running on a treadmill. I mean, that conjures up all sorts of weird images, you know. A bat on a treadmill. What were they studying? I don't know. I couldn't concentrate for conjuring up that image. And you get other interesting stories like children who are identifying as wolves. Now, it's not like wee boys identifying as wee girls or wee girls identifying as wee boys. This sort of trans thing. It's children identifying as wolves. You think, what's going on there? Ma, I think I'm turning into a wolf. It's okay, Johnny. I'll stitch your tail onto the back of your trousers. We'll deal with it. The whole world has gone flipping mad. And I've got a farting parrot. George, what are you doing there, mate? Are you just going to sit there and fart? I was in a pub about a week ago, sat at the counter, and sometimes in some places in Glasgow there's a noticeable smell of sewage. Some of these tenements are old and complicated, you get sewage leaks, you don't know where it's coming from, and you just kind of put up with a bad smell. And I'm sat at the counter with my beer, and every now and then I get just a whiff of a bad smell. And for a while I wondered if it was maybe a whiff from some sewage leak, or whether it was me. I'm thinking, was that me? I could just imagine the bar staff talking amongst themselves. That's that old guy again. He comes in, he sits at the counter and just farts. Old age. Anyway, you know, as the title of this video goes, I recently bought myself a remote-controlled fart box. I was in a shop, I saw them, well, the kind of Halloween-y stuff. We're past Halloween, right enough. Maybe it's Christmas stuff, I don't know. There's all this stuff. And I thought, I said to another shop, I think I want to buy that, you know. I want to buy a remote-controlled fart box. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do with it, like, you know. But I resisted temptation, and at the checkout, I was saying to the checkout person, I almost bought your remote-controlled fart box there. And an elderly woman, or a woman probably about the same age as myself, turned around and looked at me in a deliberate kind of a look of disgust. You know, that I was meant to go, oh, I'm sorry, I said the word fart. Oh God, forgive me. You know, I think to myself, I mean, some people want to lighten up, like, you know. And I'm thinking, well, if just saying the word fart elicits that sort of response, then I want to buy that remote-controlled fart box. So I'd left the store about 50 metres out, and I turned around and I thought, I'm buying that. Yeah. But we'll talk more about that just later. There's probably a few other things I want to chat about. I think workmen is perhaps a subject worthy of discussion. I think workmen are generally, they don't want to be incognito. Workmen generally like to make some sort of noise of some sort, whether it's hammering or drilling or sawing or something, you know. I always want to make a noise. I'm a workman. Making a noise. I mean, one of the other noises that workmen make is these, you'll see them probably around about now, is these petrol-driven leaf blowers. My God, what a noise these things make. Whatever happened to brushes? You know, a brush was a nice, quiet thing. You didn't hear it. When somebody was using a brush in the street, you didn't hear it in your house. Somebody's got a petrol-driven leaf blower out there. You can, the whole area, district, is disturbed. But I think for workmen who maybe don't have a tool at hand, something that they can make a noise with, sometimes they'll whistle just to kind of break up that silence. Some sort of tedious, meaningless whistling. Sometimes it's like sarcastic whistling, because they're doing it to noise passers-by up. And if you just happen to turn around and look at them while they're whistling, and they see you turning around, they'll think, yeah, I've got that guy, I'm annoying him. That just gives them more impetus to kind of really get on with their whistling big time. Workmen and sarcastic whistling, you know, my God. I think scaffolders are particularly noisy. They don't really need any tool. They shout and bawl. If you've got scaffolders putting up scaffolding, my God, they're shouting. You can hear it all over the place. Jimmy, can you send me up a pole? A pole, Ian? What's a pole? Give me one of these straight ones, Jimmy. A straight pole. A straight pole, Ian? Yep, a straight pole, Jimmy. They're all straight, Ian. What do you mean, a straight one? Give me one of the long, straight ones. They just shout and bawl. Whatever happened to like handheld radios or little kind of earpieces or something to do away with all that shouting? See, scaffolders, my God. Anyway, I bought a remote-controlled fart box. I'll show you the packet. all the fun without the stink. And like all things these days, it's made in China. I mean, here in the UK, can we not even make our own farts? We've got to import farts. And this is the wee remote control thing. That's the box you get. Remote control, press a button. I mean, as you can see or hear, the small issue is it sounds absolutely nothing like farts. I mean, made in China, maybe that's how they fart in China, you know. I mean, it sounds like a cross between a saw and a dinosaur. Or, you know, like a toy dinosaur, the sort of noise a toy dinosaur might make. I mean, it might have been made in like some sort of a toy factory in China where they've accidentally mixed up their software for dinosaur noises and fart noises. And out there somewhere, there's probably some poor kid wondering why his diplodocus is constantly farting. I'm Eddie Burns. I'll see you again.